Not yet.
Where are we going with this?
Just saying. I used to play jokes on, I think it was Beavis. I was on the Board of Adjustment. I'd always take all the pens and stuff.
Or we could do the green. Why was the green?
I don't know, I'm over here singing Polar Express, so.
Yay!
No, you don't want to sing with me? Okay.
I should. Well, she said she
That's
has a
one of her
cold.
favorite
I don't know what that
songs.
has to do with her
She
shirt.
likes the mouth.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't think she should get a plaque.
I just was curious.
Did she get a plaque without the shirt? That's it, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Well, it's on, it's
Yeah, I'm
everything's
trying
on
to cut the
camera.
music because the show is originally an hour long and we don't need it that long.
I don't know about that.
So I'm like cutting every little bit of dialogue that's not important and, yeah,
So
cutting
should
songs
she
down.
wear pajamas to class?
You know?
Huh?
Should she wear pajamas to class the next few weeks?
Doesn't need to wear pajamas because it's just,
like, oh, I
pajamas
can
is
see
their
her.
costume for the night of, so.
I know, but then that way she gets used to.
If you want to have her wear pajamas, she's more than welcome.
Too?
Eric's gonna wear pajamas when he comes down to Christmas Wonderland with us, I'll bet. What do you think? Are we talking into it?
Pajamas all the time.
Maybe we could talk him into it. Polar Express, their costume, all I told them is they have to wear pajamas. Everybody.
They give me a mayor's outfit.
Got one. Good, good, right, that's close enough.
Why aren't we doing hot chocolate?
The bigger kids are. Yeah, they're doing a big tap number to it. Yep.
All righty. It is 6 PM. Let us call to order the November 8th, 2021 Leisure Services Advisory Board meeting. Welcome to all the citizens and board members. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, before we get to the Citizens Open Forum, let me welcome all of the board members. This is the first time that we've had a full board in many moons. And a special welcome to Tatiana and Pam, our alternates. And so welcome aboard, put your seatbelt on. And
Buckle up.
buckle up, yes. So the Citizens Open Forum is open to any speaker who wishes to address a topic regarding leisure services, the city, whatever. Please step up to the podium, give your name and address for the record. Try to limit yourself to 5 minutes. John, you're from Gullair Village. Won't start the clock for a minute, so we'll give you 6, okay?
Yeah, you got that right. Good evening. I am from Gullair Village. My name's John Monser, and I'm the president of the HOA at Gullair.
Address for the
Currently.
record. Your home address?
I'm getting there. My address is 563 Dove Terrace, Oldsmar. I'm here tonight because I'm wanting to, I guess, revisit something that I'm being told had been done in the past, and it's a walkway. Currently, we in Oldsmar have 2 accesses to the canal, which is behind us. One is extremely sloped, and anyone in the wheelchair would be taking actually their life in their own hands trying to maneuver that one. But there's another one that's flat. It's a grassy area, and it has a direct access. It's about 125 to 130 feet in length. And what I would like to see is if we could get some sort of hard surface put there, a sidewalk, if you will, so that our residents that do have electric wheelchairs can have access to the canal safely. The way it is right now, if we get a hard rain or anything, it gets muddy. It's real tricky for them. I've had a few of them call me, ask me to come up here, and see if we could do something with that. A past president had said possibly they had visited this before and actually had decided to do something but never did. So I will ask you, if you will, I've got something I can submit, pictures of what it is so that you can see it, and hopefully maybe something can get done. Any questions?
I think that Suda and Pat and I might remember, this goes back to Lynn Reeves, former.
Yes, and I do remember that it came up, we discussed it, I thought we had some resolution, but maybe it got sidetracked. So,
Half of the property is Gulair property, correct, John? Up to a
Yeah,
fence?
it's not quite half, but yes, yeah.
Now, to your left is the Leisure Services Director, Chip Potts.
That's,
So if you have any pictures or,
yeah.
pass them to him. What does it take for us, Chip or Felicia, or whoever I should be addressing, what does it take for us to help them see this through, since this is the second time it's come back to our board?
Hi, Felicia Donnelly, Assistant City Manager. We'll be happy to evaluate it. I think that area may be a little more complicated because I believe that part of it's owned by Swiftmud. So it's Swiftmud. I also believe that there may be some drainage concerns in that same area.
Okay.
So I don't think it's as easy as just like putting a sidewalk, but we'll be happy to reevaluate that. And if
Yeah,
you
I
want to
can-
pass that to us.
One thing.
Felicia?
Currently, we have to, every 5 years, that spillway has to be certified. And we just had an engineer come out, take a look. He was out there again today. That could possibly be incorporated in this because we have to do some construction there. We have to do some repairs. So as far as the drainage, that might be something that we could look at that time, I believe, and it wouldn't be a problem. But anyway, that's up to you and people on higher seats than mine. So
Well,
thank you for your time.
questions?
Thank you. And
Doing
Chip?
those repairs every 5 years.
I'm sorry.
I think,
Who's doing those repairs every 5 years?
We have an engineering firm that comes out. Michael, I forget his last name. I can give you that information, but
we're pretty much responsible, aren't we, John? The Gullah
yes,
Village?
what we found out is,
Spillways.
So,
The spillways.
so that was the question that I had.
That's
was,
correct.
Is it Gullah
The
taking care of that, or is it
Yeah.
city taking care of
and
that?
it's a
That's our
little,
property, right?
right, and it's concerning because it's going to be a major repair. So it is concerning.
But the major concern is the entranceways from Gulair to the trail.
Yes.
Along the canal.
All right.
Part is cities, or is that the part where you're talking about is,
If you could do the cities would be great.
well, that's what I said, is that part the cities, or is it Gulairs, or is it that, we don't know? Okay.
Might be Swiftmud,
Swiftmud?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm hearing.
Search and keep us posted.
It's been a battle to try to figure that out. Even with the engineering people were trying to figure it out. And yeah, that's what they do. So he's got it right. Okay, any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Time, John.
Any other folks for the Citizens Open Forum? Okay, let's close that. And we will move on to the approval of the minutes from the August meeting. Any corrections, questions, additions, subtractions, denials? Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from August 9th, 2021.
Second. Pat, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, so be it. Next is the presentation of volunteered gifts and a few service awards.
Well, good evening. My name's Eric Seidel. I live at 114 Shore Drive Place in beautiful Oldsmar, Florida, and I have the privilege of being your mayor. And so we're going to give a couple service awards first, and then we'll do the presentation. How long has it been since you've met?
August.
3 months.
August.
You don't want to ask me that question, Mr. Mayor.
All right, well, the first award of appreciation as a 5-year recognition, and that goes to Suda.
The one with the mouth, thank you. Thank you, Stevie.
Look at the size of this one.
This.
That's definitely for you.
Well, this is for 20 years of service. And I have to tell you something. It is such an honor for us to have someone volunteer, but for when someone volunteers and they give that kind of service, it's really special. So Pat, thank you very much.
Yeah, you should get a photo up.
Boy, time sure flies by fast, that's all I can say. Then I come off to most city meetings.
These ones.
Thank you.
Don't breathe.
20 years, huh? All right, well, as some of you know, every year we have an appreciation dinner. And so, of course, COVID, changed those plans, obviously. And so the clerk's office, and I want to give a round of applause to the clerk's office and Kathy and Ann, who worked so hard. Because even though we couldn't have our regular event that we like to do, and I think we're going to have one, is it going to be this probably 2022, I would bet. Yeah, okay. But they wanted to still make a point of us being able to come out and say thank you. And every year we give a little gift. And so I've been doing this at all the meetings. Now, this, your mayor calls a little cheese tray. So let me see who knows what it's actually called. Anybody know the name of this?
Cutting tray, cheese box?
What is it? Charcuterie.
Okay, there you go. Fancy name.
Get it on Jeopardy.
Fancy names. So we've got one for every one of y'all as a token of our appreciation for your service. Like I said earlier, I had the privilege of serving as mayor of the city. And I spent a lot of time talking to other mayors. As a matter of fact, I'm the vice president of the Pinellas County's Mayor's Council. And so when I talked to them, some of my peers, about our volunteers and how we actually have a waiting list for people to get on some of our boards, they can't believe it. For a city our size, the way we're able to do as much as we do is because our volunteers really doubles the size of our staff. And so it's one of those things that we don't take for granted. I know sometimes it may feel like that, but that's all part of the passion that comes along with caring about your city. But we do want to make sure you know how much you're appreciated. I've said this before, that the difference between a city versus a community is its people. And that's why we are more than just a city, we're a community, and it's because we have so many wonderful volunteers just like you. So on behalf of the city council and your city staff, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. And I think it was your predecessor at a dinner a few years ago made mention of volunteers are not paid because they're worthless. Volunteers are not paid because they're priceless.
Right.
Yeah, they got that backwards. I like, personally, I like the one that volunteers are all work and no pay.
Yes.
I thought he would like that.
I won't be staying for your meeting because we typically don't like the council members to sit in on the citizens boards because it's kind of not polite to. So with that, have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Okay. No. Next item on the agenda is our monthly reports, project updates, and upcoming events.
Public art project.
Oh, I'm sorry, skip number 3. It's only,
Back to number
only
3.
2 and 3. Sorry, presentation of the public art project. You're next, Chip, sorry.
Good evening. My name's Lisa Schmid, and I'm the Arts Coordinator for the City of Oldsmar. We're here tonight to present to the Leisure Services Advisory Board a public art project we are proposing to bring to Oldsmar in 2022. Why public art? Public art adds enormous value to the cultural, aesthetic, and economic vitality of a community. It's now a well-accepted principle of urban design that public art contributes to a community's identity, fosters community pride and a sense of belonging, and enhances the quality of life for its residents and visitors. What is public art? Common characteristics of public art are public accessibility, public realm placement, community involvement, public process, and can be permanent or temporary. Public art takes several forms and can be as direct as a sculpture or a fountain. It could take the form of murals, or it could be color-changing LED lights incorporated into an art feature for evenings, or even an interactive art piece suitable for all ages. Public art could be placed as a gathering place, art incorporated park furniture like benches, sculptural lighting, decorative fencing, or kinetic sculptures. Public art is uniquely accessible and enables people to experience art in the course of daily life, outside of museums or other cultural institutions. Public art provides everyone in the community direct and ongoing encounters with art. Here we go. Did it move? There we go. Why Oldsmar Sports Complex? You can see on the map, much of our public art is in the vicinity of Oldsmar City Centre and in its surrounding area. We have our Taking Flight sculpture on State Street, 6 bronze statues dotted in and around the parks, murals at R.E. Olds Park and Bicentennial Park, and Emily the Manatee at the Public Library. There is a noticeable lack of public art west of Oldsmar, with the exception of the butterfly mural on the crosswalk in Sheffield Park. So, for numerous reasons, we think the most favourable site for this public art project is the Oldsmar Sports Complex, directly on Tampa Road. First of all, it's home to the internationally known BMX track, the baseball and softball fields, the football and soccer fields, and the new Oldsmar hockey ring. This location of 45 acres has a lot of activities going on. Having a public art piece at the sports complex will enhance the area to numerous visitors. Public art activates the imagination and encourages people to pay attention and perceive more deeply the environment they occupy. The selected piece will complement the surrounding environment, be durable, and meet all applicable ordinances and regulations. And by the way, in ancient Greece, art and sports were considered perfect partners. The idea was to achieve harmony by exercising both the body and the mind. Bringing art and sports together has the potential to extend audiences for both and lead to positive outcomes for promotion, community programs, public relations, and funding. The sports complex is ideal because it has a high pedestrian traffic area, which has free parking, children's play area, concession stands, restrooms, and shelters. And dozens of activities are held here on weekdays, weekends, daytimes, and evenings. We are inviting the community to have some initial input on this project and voice an opinion on the type of public art to be created and installed at the sports complex. We'll offer the public 7 choices of different types of public art, giving descriptions and examples of each. People will be able to vote for their top 3 preferences in order on the Oldsmar website, and will specify the most requested type of art in our call to artist. We'll also be appointing a review committee from our local community to judge the artist's submissions and final proposals. So the different types of art are sculptures. Probably the most common type of sculptures are the standalone artworks, defined by being 3-dimensional, freestanding, and independent of other structures, such as buildings. Materials may be carved, modeled, molded, cast, wrought, welded, assembled, or otherwise shaped and combined. For example, here's the iconic Love sculpture by Robert Indiana in Philadelphia. And on the right is an example of a sculpture with a similar budget we have, the metal column called Lexington Life by Beatrice Coron in downtown Asheville. That's on the right-hand side. Integrated art. This is art incorporated into facades, pavements, landscapes, and fences. The top right image is a pavement mural we have in Sheffield Park, for example, funded by the North Pinellas Cultural Alliance and designed and painted by artist Noel Stillman in 2018. Interactive art is a very family-orientated form of public art. It involves the spectator in a way that allows the art to achieve its purpose. Some interactive art installations achieve this by letting their observer or visitor walk in, on, and around them. Some others ask the spectators to become part of the artwork. Here's an example of Oldsmar's first interactive sculpture, Taking Flight, by a local but internationally renowned artist, Donald Gillanella.
Excuse me.
Kinetic art. Movement is a basic element of kinetic art sculptures, using energy of motion. Kinetic art is described as sculptural constructions with movable parts activated by wind, motor, pressure, or other means, often utilizing variable elements like light, sound, color, vibration, or electricity. This can be a very dynamic, interactive kind of art. Incorporated art pieces are included or integrated into something else, often site-specific. It can be either as a whole or a part of something that already exists. Generally, something useful like Wi-Fi charging stations, benches, or bike racks. Since 2005, we've had an art-sculptured bike rack in the shape of a fire hose at our fire station on Pine Avenue as an example of integrated art. Applied art is the application of design and decoration to everyday objects or surfaces to make them aesthetically pleasing. Murals are the most common examples. We have 2 murals aside the amphitheatre in R.E. Olds Park, a children's mural at the public library, and huge murals painted on the former sewer tanks in Mobley Bayou Wilderness Preserve. There are 3 different concession stands at the sports complex that lend themselves to having murals painted on them. Lighting installations. This is illuminating art for the evenings. Light art harnesses light, naturally or artificially, to create powerful artistic statements. Because the sports complex is visited in the evenings, illuminating art could be utilized. Call to artist. So once the type of art is determined, we'll distribute a specific call to artists to individuals or teams nationwide with experience in design, fabrication, and installation of public artworks to submit qualifications. Using a wide-range scoring system, 3 finalists will be selected to submit designs for the final piece. There is an allotted budget of $38,000 to include proposals, materials, the hiring of engineers and inspectors, fabrication, installation, artist commission, and travel. Our selection committee will interview the top 3 finalists and rank in order of preference the specific proposal. So regarding the selection committee, a selection or review...
Try me again.
Oh,
There you go. Now you got it.
okay, thank you. A A selection review committee will be appointed, comprised of a diverse group of people who understand the community needs and have a sense of the arts. These candidates must be able to commit about 20 hours through the process for training purposes, reviewing, and online judging. And this includes being available to attend an in-person Saturday morning meeting to select the final art piece from the 3 finalist proposals. Our selection committee will include the Oldsmar Leisure Services Director, a professional local artist, a local architect or an urban planner, a representative from each of the sports complex sports like hockey, soccer, baseball, softball, football, and the BMX. There's 6 members there. A member from the Florida Association of Public Arts Professionals, a member from the Leisure Services Advisory Board, and 5 members from the public. So it's about 16 review members in total.
Big selection committee.
It is.
The art fabrication, so once this is underway, the city will negotiate and enter into an agreement with the preferred artist. After signed contracts, the artist will then fabricate and install the selected piece. We anticipate this to be a year-long project and installed towards the end of 2022. And I pressed it. Any questions? I'll now open it up to the board members and invite you to ask any questions you may have.
Excellent presentation.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Pardon me again for skipping over you on the agenda,
Okay.
but beautifully done, easy to understand. Is it limited to 3 pieces of art in the complex?
So we get,
One piece.
One piece?
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so,
one?
so it's one piece. We have $38,000. What you can see, the last piece that we had the similar budget was for Taking Flight, which is downstairs. So something, public art can be all different ranges. We're going to ask the public to pick the type of art through an online survey.
So that's where that was my question. Where's the public involved in choosing their favorite piece or choosing their favorite type of art?
So the public will be involved in choosing the type.
Okay, whether
we're
it's
gonna-
a
we're
lighted
gonna-
or whether it's a statue and that type of thing. Gotcha.
Exactly. So the public will narrow that down. So that will be done we're going to do an online survey. We're going to make sure that you can only submit one, answer that you're a resident here. And so, we propose that we let the public pick the type of art.
Mm-hmm.
And then the selection committee, which is comprised of about 16 residents, except for Chip, actually, is the only one not. And then as a staff member, and those 16 people, the way that public art is selected now is very methodical. We use a program, it's called Cafe, which is a call to artists. It's a national database. So the database, they put up their professional resumes, their slides, photos about their art. And so the 16 people in their luxury of their home will go through all the slides and take probably 15 hours doing that. And then they rank them in order. And the Cafe program will produce a list in ranked order. Then we just invite those top 3 in for Saturday to come in, and then they make a specific presentation. So this has a lot more public involvement than I think a different type than we've done before.
Is the cafe out of your 38,000 budget? Cafe costs like $500 or something?
Yeah, cafe is I think it's $500. We
Is
get
that
like
in addition to your 38,000 or that'll be
Yes,
part of your 38?
it's already in the budget.
Okay, so that's in the 38,000?
Correct.
Okay.
Prior to the survey, would a presentation like this be available for the public, or is it going to be on the survey so they can?
Sure. Well, we're going to craft the online survey, so we'll probably throw this up on our
The
website.
different types of artwork, yes,
we
yeah.
know.
But we're going to craft the online survey with specific instructions. We just thought it would be a good opportunity because at the end of the day, do we really, does it matter to us what type of art is at the Oldsmar Sports Complex? Why not let the public choose that?
Do you have a specific location in the park that you're going to put it?
We don't. So this is the way that works. So the public will pick a certain type of art. We put it out to a call. Lisa manages that call. We let the artists usually pick. So if the public says that they want applied art, well, we can guess it's probably going to go on the 3 concession stands. Then they come back and that Saturday and they'll tell you exactly where they think their piece fits in best on your site. So if you ask for lighting, they'll come back with lighting. Anything like that, we let them pick.
Pam? Pam?
I just wondered, would there be any insurance, extra insurance necessary if it were an interactive piece? Would it be covered under our umbrella policy?
Yeah, that's covered on our umbrella.
They were on a piece of equipment or something?
Correct. There's an inherent risk at using anything at a sports complex.
So it wouldn't be, no extra insurance would be required?
Not for that. Now, we do require extra insurance during the fabrication process, just like any other procurement that we would in the city.
And that's included in the budget?
Yes, when we enter into contract negotiations. And last time, Lisa, do you remember how many responses we got for the wings?
For the wings, there was about 50.
I think we got
50 or
about
60,
50,
you said,
50, yeah, 50 national responses came in. People will respond from all over the country.
I may have missed it, but was there a potential start date and end dates?
Yes, Lisa has a schedule. I don't have that with me.
End of
But it takes
2022,
a lot
isn't it?
longer, Amber, than you think. So it took us, a year and a half to get the wings. By the time you open it up for the public, by the time we have the selection committee, by the time the artist comes, then it goes to the city council for consideration for contract, and it gets a contract. So by the time we even get a contract, it's, it could be 6 months from now.
Any other questions, comments?
One of her slides, did you need a board member to, or are you going to do that later?
Yeah, that's what we would like now, is for you all to pick a board member.
Any suggestions?
Oh,
Leisure Services Board member to be on the committee.
I would be honored to be
I was
considered.
gonna say, I would recommend Sue to.
So I would be honored to be considered with my background and stuff, so. Amber would like to also be? Do we need to, huh?
I think you'd be the best.
Amber is interested?
I'm interested.
Okay. We need to take a vote, Ann? Just a verbal vote? Is that acceptable? Devin, any interest or anything? Okay.
Devin says, no, thank you.
Is this just for the 7, Ann, or for the alternates also, or? Okay. So, all right. So we'll go alphabetical then.
Wasn't anywhere near a microphone, so only the 7 of you, 7 regular members can motion second or make a vote. But, just keep in mind too, that the council members will also be selecting 5 people, and, there's nothing that says that you can't be from the board also, because that meeting that's on that Saturday that'll be in person for picking will be a publicized Sunshine Law meeting. So just so you know, that if whoever does not get selected today, you may have another opportunity.
That's what I was going to say. Could the other opportunity be considered on the list for the other 5 volunteers from the community or whatever it was?
Right, because the council will be selecting those 5.
Oh,
Each
okay.
one will have one that they get to select. Is that true?
Gotcha.
Yes. So just.
So for our official designee to the committee, in favor of Amber, alphabetically, we'll go for Amber first.
You do
I'm sorry.
have
I
a
am
motion
sorry.
and a second on the floor, so the correct thing would be to have a vote. And then should that vote fail, then there would be a motion and a second for Amber. But currently, the motion and second, I believe, is for Suda, because Pat made the motion and Ken
Okay.
seconded it, and nobody took that motion off the floor.
For Suda then. For Suda, all in favor? Aye. 4, 5.
And I said, sorry, Amber,
Oh,
but
is there anybody opposed?
Nobody opposed? You guys didn't vote? You want to
think
vote
we
for
were supposed to
yourself,
vote.
Suda?
well, I don't think I need to. Yeah, I didn't think we were supposed to vote for
No,
ourselves.
no,
yeah.
you have to vote.
Oh, then I vote for me.
All in favor? All in favor of Suda? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6. Opposed?
guess it's me.
Okay.
Sorry, Amber.
Well, you
Amber,
could, you
just give
could
me
have
another
another
chance.
opportunity with the council member to come on to the selection.
Yeah,
committee as well.
I would recommend that if you can encourage them, that you did have 2 board members that were interested in being involved. If they're looking for another one, I think Amber should be considered.
I will pass that information along, and if you all wanted to consider this an opportunity to make a motion to support the methodology of the proposal to select the art, then you're welcome to do so.
Such a proposal?
I make a motion that we accept the proposal of the, that has been outlined for the next public art project.
Second? Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, so be it. Lisa, one of the best, if not the best presentation I've sat in.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Lisa and community, because I know the last time we did this, it was a little tighter-knit group. So thank you for incorporating it to involve an opportunity for a board member from here or some other people from the community to give a wider range of input. So that even though it's a bigger group that you're dealing with, I think that that's a good thing, that it's getting a little more input from a wider variety of people too. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, now, agenda item number 4, monthly reports, project updates, and upcoming events.
Good evening again.
Tour guide.
The driver of the day. Applause to Chip, everybody, for such a great job today on our tour.
We're great passengers, I must say. Great passengers. I did enjoy the camaraderie. I do mean that. It was nice. So the monthly reports are sent out monthly.
They are greatly appreciated.
And just want to highlight a couple of them, since it is over a couple of a month period there. We did have our spray park grand reopening with 150 people in attendance. Great night, really fun, lots of young families out there. We had our invasive fish roundup. We had 129 participants, and we caught 2,322 Mayan cichlids out of the ponds over there that you guys saw today over by Bicentennial Park in Mobley. We had our coastal cleanup event with 50 volunteers. We've restarted our movie in the park program and our Sunset Sounds concerts. And we had our Opal performance of Shrek Jr. in the park with over 250 in attendance. Oh, wow. So those are just a couple of the highlights on the monthly reports for programming. From our project updates, as you all saw this evening, the BMX hills, the starting hills are going vertical, which is very exciting. We are planning on hosting a Pro-Am event, and then we also are hosting a state series race the second weekend in April 2022, and then the Gator Nationals in October of 22. So those are some exciting things that have taken place or are in the current works right now from our project standpoint. The upcoming events, just want to remind everybody, we are still in the deep heart of our special event season. We took one on the chin last week with some rain. There may be some rain in the forecast this Friday as well. I don't know what happens, but we tend to get in a weekly cycle, and for some reason it happens on the weekends, which kind of throws a wrench into our plans. But this Thursday we have Veterans Day at 11 a.m. in Veterans Memorial Park. The public is invited, as well as the Leisure Service Advisory Board. Second Friday, which is hosted by the Chamber of Commerce, is this Friday. That's right down here on State Street. The next day, Saturday this week, we have the Drive Electric event, which is put on by our Public Works Department, in cooperation with a few of the other cities around that are local. Celebrate Oldsmar is coming up on November 19th. That'll be November 19th through the 21st. We have fireworks planned for Saturday night, the 20th. We have, moving into December, we have our tree lighting on December the 1st. We have Christmas Wonderland on December the 3rd. That's a Friday. We go to a movie in the park on the 10th. Breakfast with Santa the following morning on December 11th, followed by the golf cart parade that evening on the 11th. And then we kind of end our special event season on December 17th with the Sunset Sounds concert. So we have a lot of things planned, and we're looking forward to seeing the community out there.
Friday the 12th is also the annual talent show down at Ari Olds Park.
That's right. That's this week, this Friday.
Double hitter on Friday. I'm splitting up my teams in both directions.
Yep. The talent show as well.
Chip?
So if it rains, is it just canceled, or is there?
There a backup plan?
For the talent show?
Yeah.
It would be canceled. We don't have any backup plans for indoors, because then with all the lighting and everything,
Or
and
next day?
stages and everything, right?
Okay. So we hope it won't rain.
No rain.
No rain.
So that's my report on the monthly highlights right there. If you have any questions, I'll take them. If not, then
We do appreciate the monthly update that we get. I always take note of the parking revenue. It's not much, but it's $1,000 or something that,
for the past couple of months, it's been zero for Cypress Forest Recreation Center because the spray park hasn't been open. But you can see now that the spray park's open, people are using that again. So
something.
yeah.
The magazine is always great.
Yeah.
And the senior event at the rec center, the luncheon, has that been scrapped?
That's kind of been scrapped as we move forward out of COVID. We've kind of shifted gears on that.
Because.
Just kind of finding out what makes, from a programming standpoint, where to best utilize the dollars.
Okay. Any other?
One more thing.
Yep.
And Chip, this may be on a different context, but I just found this out recently and was a little bit surprised, but I expected it. We no longer have a stage at Cypress Forest, correct? Portable stage. I understand it's been gotten rid of.
Not that I know that it's been disposed of.
I've been told
it's in storage. We keep it at the Parks building.
I was informed it was no longer available for our usage. So I'll talk to you further about them.
Talk to me.
That'll be great, thank you. I was a little shocked to hear, and I thought maybe we got rid of it, so, okay. Because we were looking for an indoor avenue for one of our events, and so great, thank you. That's why I was kind of shocked. Okay, good, thank you. I'll talk to you more about that later.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments for Chip?
I have
Fiona?
a nervous comment, but if someone was to have an idea for a future event next year, what would be the process of bringing that to leisure boards or to the city?
Okay, so we have programming staff. John Lindsay, who is here this evening, is our recreation supervisor. He oversees the programming citywide, whether it's special events or programs or activities, camps, things like that. So what I would do is, if you have ideas, either you can let me know, or you can just talk to John and say, hey, I have some ideas for programming. So we're always looking for new ideas, and yeah, they're very much welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And you can bring them to this board, I think, and open it, right? That's part of what we're about, right?
Yep.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, you bring them right up here and pass them on to the groups, or call them or email them and stuff.
I was gonna
directly.
say, would an email be sufficient? Do I wait for
Sure.
a
Yeah,
board
you can
meeting?
email John, because
Oh, wait, for
so we
another
have
meeting.
a process.
It's too far down the road.
Right, okay.
Like for example, right now, John's in the process of compiling the event and program activities for the next magazine that's coming out. So he's in the process right now with his staff of saying, okay, what do we focus on? What are our goals? And where are we headed with this program? So yeah,
Sounds good.
absolutely.
And
Okay.
John, welcome on board. I know we're not getting you up to speak, but I know I've been working with you already at the rec center, and so just wanted to do a formal welcome on board.
Thank you, Chip.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay, our leisure services learning moment.
Okay, that's going to be presented by Alexis Wells. He's going to kind of bring you guys up to speed. It's not so much a learning moment, but he's going to bring you up to speed on some of the contractual stuff that we've been doing from a maintenance standpoint regarding our parks crew.
Good evening, Alexis Wells, Assistant Director, Leisure Services. So, just like every other business within our community and around, help has been an issue, trying to be able to get people to come in and work. For the past 2 years, we've literally been working shorthanded. We've tried getting help through part-timers, no luck. We've gone through Goodwill, no luck. So what we finally decided to do was to literally shift our gears. So we have gone to contract work for contract landscaping. If you notice at Tampa Road, 580 Curlew Road, for the past 3.5 months have been mowed by an outside company. What that does, it takes a little bit of the weight off of the staff and allows us to focus a little bit more on the quality of work we can put into the parks. And it also takes, also the safety aspect out of it, because when we have to do 580, we actually, have to have a special piece of equipment out there called a attenuator with a big arrow board shifting. Okay, the other company, the safety is actually on them, so it takes the weight off of us a little bit. And like I said, the main thing is that our staff can focus on making the parks looking a lot better. And I'm sure you've probably seen the differences as what's been happening, from that. Along with that, we are about to introduce a brand new piece of equipment. It arrived about, about 3 weeks ago. We were just been waiting to get tags and certain things on it. But what it is, it's a remote controlled mower. For some of the places that is difficult to get a regular riding mower into, or for brush that is way too thick for standard mowers, we can put this mower in and also take someone with a. So hopefully, we'll be training staff with it. I'm just going to show you a quick picture. You can pass it.
It's almost like it's a Star Wars Star.
A drone though.
This is where I hope we have some young staff that's really good at all the video games. Okay, but yeah, it's going to be a huge help because it's also a place that's too steep to put someone on a riding mower.
Yeah.
This will be able to go into this place because.
Is this correct? Made in the USA?
Yes.
Wow.
Made in the U.S. and it is also the company that is fairly local out of Orlando. So and that machine comes with a 2-year, as they call it, bumper to bumper warranty.
Wow.
Okay, that is
Is it programmable, or you basically drive it remote?
Still control it.
Gotcha.
You have there'll be a unit you have and just and it's by
Handle it
sight.
remotely, gotcha.
Kevin, you want to get a peek at this?
Yeah, so so it is actually a good. It's a good thing to have, for us, and it's going to help us in a lot of places. For example, if you walk down behind the trail, behind the rec center, you go about 3 feet off the trail and you're in water. When doing a demonstration, this was operational in about 12 inches of water, and it was still going through. The back of the BMX hill that sits like this, it was actually navigating that hill. We kind of put someone in a mower on that hill. Industry standard as far as a slope incline for anyone in a riding mower is 15 degrees, nothing greater than that. So this can go up to maybe 50 degrees before it gives a warning, before it tips over. So those are some of the things that we're working on, just to help the staff be able to get the job better, to help them make the parks be safer and be looking much better for the community. Okay. Any questions?
What's the speed on it?
Thank you.
What is the speed on that? The speed on that puppy?
It's at max speed when it's mowing. It's about 5.5 miles per hour. But when it's traveling, when it's not mowing, we can go up to 12 miles an hour. So it's not very fast. But safety is going to be is the main thing. But the fact that it also has the wide tracks, that's what helps keeps the stability. When we were testing it, literally went over small trees about that big. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Beautiful. Alexis, we saw most of the parks this evening on our tour this afternoon, and for the board, I just want to say that we appreciate all of your work. Our parks are wonderful. And love the vision of whoever put the land away years ago. But
Yes.
great work. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll pass it on to the staff.
Thank you. Okay, we have a list of the survey questions in our packet, and we had them online for a while. Any comments on these, favorites, input?
I mean, I like them all. I was just wondering, Chip, are these going to go out quarterly? Because there's so many questions, and I think they're all appropriate, but you don't want 20 all in one survey.
No. So the intent of the email, back at the last meeting that we had, we discussed the possible, coming up with, you guys wanted to have input on questions. So what I did is I asked Ann to send these out to stimulate some thought into what kind of questions you all would like to ask. These are by no means the questions that I had come up. We just researched some questions online, kind of looked at some older ones that we had. Said, okay, let's throw these out to the board, stimulate some ideas. You guys provide us with questions that you think would be relevant to what we want to achieve, and then we can go from there, whittle those down to 10, 12. You don't want a lot of them. So that we could then utilize those in the community in our surveys. So my hope was that you all would provide us with some direction on what kind of questions you would like to see. my question to you guys is, not really a question, but, we want to choose the questions, like I said, that stimulate thought, have substantive feedback on the community needs and desires in regards to our programs, events, and activities. So my question is, how do you guys want to proceed with this? Would time be better spent? I brought it up the last time. Would time be better spent assigning one board member to take the questions that you see here to help us to develop the questions so that we can put a draft together and then maybe bring those back at the February meeting and then go ahead and you all vote on those questions that a board member would be assigned to us would come back with, and then that way we can set those questions at the February meeting. Now at the same time that's going on, we can assign one board member to work with the staff to develop the calendar of how we're going to get this out. When are we going to do it? Where are we going to do it? Focus groups, surveys, intercept surveys. We're going to events. We're going to parks. We're going to athletic events at the sports complex. We're getting a broad reach to the entire community. So we can kind of develop that calendar at the same time that we're developing the questions. So we come back in February with questions and a calendar that you all would vote on, and then that would really be a good time for us to do that over the next couple of months, because once we hit February 14th at our next meeting, we get right into our spring event season, and that's when we're really going to hit the ground running. So really right now, as we're getting closer to, like we said, December 17th is our last concert, things kind of settle down through January, February, and into the beginning of March because it's cold. We're not going to be doing special events outdoors. But once we hit that time period of March, we can hit the ground running with events, activities. We got spring camps. Then we can roll right into summer with summer camps and all of the outdoor activities that kind of tick back up. So that would be my suggestion on procedure, but it's up to you guys to decide how you want to do it. The only thing we need would be after the development of the questions and the calendar, is to find which of the board members would be assigned to accumulate the responses and tabulate and help us come up with that final report of actually what the community has said. So that's kind of my recommendation on it. Ken, I'll let you figure out how you wanted to proceed.
Anybody interested in being the questions are? If that's the title for the,
Yeah, I'm in. I mean, I like what Ken's saying. Like, I like the idea of what you're saying of how we could kind of utilize the time in between meetings, like get the questions together. Okay, now where can we go to do this? Come back and have it organized for the next meeting, and then we can vote on it.
Would this be working right with staff?
Yes. So it would be one-on-one, one board member, and then staff. It doesn't have to be one staff, but.
Go ahead,
I'm interested in either one.
Go ahead, Pat.
I was thinking that if we could get together, and meet lunch or something and discuss it, or can we not do that?
No.
No special meeting?
No special
Could
meeting.
request a
You
special
could request a
meeting would
special
be the only thing.
Okay.
Any objection to having Joe coordinate with staff on questions? Any objection?
I don't have any.
Okay, Joe? And anybody interested in working with the calendar? I'd be interested in helping tabulate.
Tabulate? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do something. I mean, I
Okay.
can do
Okay, and then so.
Calendar, Pat?
Oh, I can do
calendar.
Or you can.
Oh, no, but if you'd like to.
We'll
you're new.
we'll
I'm
tabulate.
an old timer.
We can work together.
We can work together.
There you go, Chip, okay?
Got two. Is that okay?
Unfortunately,
It's gotta be only one.
it has to be one because that'll violate sunshine laws. We can't, right.
Okay.
So one tally, one calendar, one questions.
One board member with staff. Yep.
Amber?
Okay, I'll take it.
All right.
All right, so I'll work with Amber for calendar, Joseph for creating the questions,
Count
and then
beans with
Ken
you.
tabulation
Okay.
and reporting.
Okay.
Much that's good direction for us. So thank you.
Thanks, Chip. Appreciate
Thank you, Chip. Okay. Okay, next item on the agenda is, we had kicked around considering the board's name. I think I had suggested the Leisure Services Advocacy Board, or anybody have any thoughts on that, or leave it be, or?
I guess, if I may just, make a comment. When we do our travelings and stuff and go to parks and we talk to people that, did in different areas in different states, they still use Parks and Rec. I mean,
There's a number of, yeah, some are parks and recreation, some are leisure services because it's more encompassing of different activities. And, because Largo, for example, is recreation, parks and arts, because they've incorporated the arts component, leisure services, they're interchangeable.
okay. I mean, I like it, it's a nice name, but people don't know if it's Parks and Recs.
Okay, 20-year veteran, yes. We do go back to when there were separate arts and parks boards, so. So we're okay with Leisure Services Advisory Board? No,
I go with if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Okay.
We've already had a
Fine and
name
dandy.
change 5 years
Okay.
ago or something, so.
all righty.
I don't have a strong opinion either way, so.
What's
All right,
that?
so be it.
Change it or no?
No.
Then we gotta get a new shirt.
We gotta make
There you
sure
go,
that it's new
Ann
shirt.
likes that. Okay,
Budget friendly,
good
right?
point, Joe, good point. Okay, next item is to appoint a chair and vice chair to serve for the next 2 years as the Leisure Services Chair and Vice Chair. Just let me read from our document. All that our document says is, members of the board shall select from their own membership a chair and vice chair, kind of period. We can do the status quo, we can have an election, we can, whatever Ann thinks is appropriate, anything but a mail-in ballot. No mail-in ballots, please. Too many problems with those. So, the floor is open for discussion. Again, all our document says is members of the board shall select from their own membership a chair and vice chair. So
I would just like to say personally, since we're all pretty new, maybe just keep it how it is unless Pat wants to get involved so we can have some seniority.
I was gonna recommend Ken's doing a fantastic job, let him keep doing it.
And I recommend Suda to be,
I'd be honored.
I'm in charge of vice.
yes.
I'm in charge of vice.
She'd be,
Is there a
Do we need a
motion for
formal
that?
vote?
Or
I motion.
second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. We vote, Susan?
Yeah, I guess
All
we
in
vote
favor?
too.
Opposed? So be it, Ann? Okay. Thank you very much
He
for
doesn't have to make any new plaques either.
the votes of confidence.
We're saving money all over here.
We're just trying to save you money, Ann.
All right, so stamps are expensive. Yes. All right, next item is the 2022 meeting schedule, which is pretty much set in
Page
stone.
6, page 6 on the back of your agenda.
Everybody has a copy of it for the February, May, August, and November meetings.
Valentine's Day meeting, huh?
Ken, I
I like
don't
it.
have one.
You don't have one in your packet? One of
On the
these?
back page.
Right here.
Take your back.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I do.
Kyle wants to know why we scheduled the February meeting for the day after the Super Bowl, but since he's going.
No.
No?
Trying.
Oh,
Trying to go.
okay,
Would like
trying,
to go.
okay.
When is the Super Bowl?
Anything we have to do with this,
13th.
Ann, or just it's for our information?
Just for your information, next year,
Last year as well.
I wasn't on the board then?
just for your information,
on the board
because that attendance policy is so strict, we want to try to, make
And
sure everybody
plan,
knows.
plan your Valentine's dinners accordingly.
Oh, that's
We'll
right,
just have one here.
February 14th.
I'll bring my date.
We're each other's Valentine's that day.
If
Priorities
there's
for next
if
year's
there's a meeting, like on Valentine's Day, right, that, y'all, if you don't love us and you want to, well, actually, I guess our spouses would probably appreciate it if you move it. Yeah, I guess we need to decide that now if you wanted to move that meeting, because that's the first meeting next year.
Who else goes out for Valentine's dinners?
We
We can move it around. We can go at 7. We don't have to go.
I'll bring her
to-
here if I have to. If I gotta bring my wife here, I'll say, listen.
Same thing.
All right, tell you what, let's all bring our significant others to the Valentine's meeting, and then you can all go out to dinner afterwards.
I think you could, so if you wanted to move the meeting, I think the following Monday is President's Day.
Yeah,
Let's leave it as is. We'll just plan our
leave it as
dinners
is.
accordingly.
okay.
Leave it as is. We'll plan our
And
dinners accordingly.
while you're there, Tatiana mentioned an email, just in a conversation. Could you give us especially for the new members, a 30-second, 45-second review of the sunshine laws, just to be careful about replying to emails or email to one?
Right, so basically for the sunshine law, if you can't, none of the, even as alternates, right, or ex officio teens, cannot discuss anything coming up to the board with other board members unless it's actually in a board meeting, which makes it pretty interesting. But so as an example, earlier Pat brought up working with somebody, with Amber. Well, they couldn't do that because that wouldn't be a full board meeting. It wouldn't be, it has to be noticed and minutes taken and a public meeting. It has to have a citizens open forum, the whole shebang. And so even earlier still, I think you might have found it a little confusing because I pointed out to Amber, you could be appointed by council, right, to be on that same selection committee with SUDA. But the reason that's possible is that public arts project isn't coming back to this board.
Right.
So you wouldn't be talking about something that's going to be coming to the board, but you don't want to get in any discussions with somebody about anything that might be coming to the board. Now, the sunshine law just applies between the board members, right? It doesn't apply with staff. So you can ask Chip all sorts of stuff. I can give you his home number.
But it's also with emails too, Ann, right?
Right,
You
it's
don't wanna-
emails, it's
You
any
don't want to
kind of
email back to
communication.
everybody. You want to just email Ann if you have a question or
Right.
something.
And it's also, you cannot use a conduit. So you couldn't say, hey, so-and-so, gosh, I wish we had this in the city, and I wish so-and-so knew. I'll make sure. No, you can't do that. So, but if you have any questions about the sunshine law, feel free to contact me. And it makes things a little more hard, but that's the idea, is to be transparent for citizens. Yeah.
Thank you, Ann.
That was more than 30 seconds.
Okay, so
Not with Jerry.
this will be our schedule. Okay, so number 10, new business. Anybody? New business. Start down there with
Pam?
which way we want to start?
I have nothing.
Nothing?
No. I don't.
I've got it.
New business? Anybody?
Nope, I'm good.
Chip?
Yeah.
So, I know. I just want to remind you, at the last board meeting, there was a motion and a vote that recommended us to involve the Leisure Service Advisory Board in our events again, as we had in the past. So I asked John Lindsay, the Recreation Supervisor, to prepare a list of events. And Ken, if it's okay, I don't know how you would like to communicate that. If you would like, John's going to hand out some of the magazines that we have, obviously, and the flyers, and a flyer that he made up with the schedule. So we'd like to get you guys back involved. That was a vote. Obviously, it was your desire. So John would like to work with you guys to schedule you for some of our events. And basically what happens is
I've got a box full.
we just have a member of the Leisure Service Advisory Board attend an event, say it's Movie in the Park or it's Sunset Sounds. And it's just nice for you guys to be there with us to see how the events operate. You can talk to the community members, get some feedback from them. So we'd like to keep you guys involved to see how we're doing things and what we're doing and just to get feedback. So Ken, however you wanted to solicit that,
A couple of us showed up for the spray park reopening.
Yep, spray park opening, and Kyle was at Sunset. Was it a Sunset Sounds?
Movie.
It was the movie in the park. Okay, yeah. Sunset Sounds. Yeah, Sunset. Okay, switched you guys up.
Wear our shirts?
I don't. Were you wearing a shirt? You were wearing a shirt.
I wore
yeah.
mine.
Yep. So.
Get some more use out of the shirts.
So if there's something on that we could go to, do we tell you or just show up?
Contact John.
Contact John.
John, do we have your email on here, sir?
Do we have?
You don't, but I will be more than happy to send that.
Okay, that'd
Send
be
it or
good.
tell it to us so we can write it on here.
It is his email. His email is jlinse@myoldsmar.com.
At what?
At myoldsmar.com. Maybe if you, I can't remember, I didn't get a chance to see the whole list, but maybe if you choose your top 2 choices or top 3 choices, that way he can kind of fill them in so we can try to keep one in one. So.
And do we have a plan of what we're doing at the events yet, or are we just kind of do any polls, or we're just asking around, or?
Once we get the, once we complete our survey tool and we have the calendar and the schedule, we'll go ahead and implement that when we get to those events. I think for this one right now, we'd just like to have you guys out there as part of the event. Again, interact with the people in the community, see, you know, what do you like, how's it going, here's who I am, this is what we're trying to do, you know, just general feedback right now, nothing structured.
Sure. Well, I will be all weekend at Celebrate Oldsmar and Christmas Wonderland, John, so I'll give you a heads up that I'll help with those as well.
Feel free to contact John. Welcome aboard again, John. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Board comments.
Where are you starting?
Devin, start over there. Any comments?
Actually, I do have one.
Microphone? Is your mic working? There you go.
Hello?
What is?
There we go. I noticed on the list of survey questions that 4 and 6 were pretty much repeated in 14.
So our one that's helping with that, and make a note of those two, sounds like they can help us eliminate the repetitions. Good catch there, Devin.
Pretty much it.
Yes.
What were the other two?
4 and 6.
Four
I
and,
think.
4 and
14.
Yes.
And 14, okay, there we go.
Head start, Amber.
There you go. He's already given you some of your.
Anything else, Devin? Thank you. Good spot. Good spot. Tatiana, board comments?
Moment.
Go right ahead. Suda?
All good? Oh, I've got to find something. Let's see. Old time carolers are getting together to perform at Christmas Wonderland. Anybody that likes to sing and wants to dress up in 1800s costumes with us that I supply, please feel free to get in contact with us, and we will be having a couple rehearsals. Ms. Suda's dancers will kick off the festivities, usually from 5 to 6, which we're confirming, and then the carolers are going to be sometime later in the evening. I know we're working with Eric on that as well. And there was one other note here, stage where I took care of, May recital. And congratulations to Devin for doing a great Shrek in our recent show. He did a fantastic job. And you will see him and Mr. Zach in the upcoming talent show. So thank you. That's all I have. Mine's short and sweet today. That's weird.
Suda said everything I was going to say.
But I only had a couple items.
Except Holly and Steve will be in the talent show, so root for them.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
All right. Oh,
No, everything's going pretty good.
Kyle?
No, I don't have anything to say.
It's just good to see everybody. It's a
On
long
the 20
time
years,
between.
Pat.
Happy what?
Yes, congratulations.
On a 20-year plaque.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, time sure flies fast, doesn't it, when you're having fun?
Yes. Ken?
I'd like to congratulate Pat and Suda both. Both of you guys have some time in here. Hopefully I'll follow.
Pam?
No, I'm just glad to be here.
Okay.
Glad to have you.
Personally, I was honored to be invited to the Great American Teach-In on the 17th. I will be torturing some elementary school students over at Oldsmar Elementary about Oldsmar, the history and all that good stuff. Making them think, well, I mean torturing them, making them think. And I always bring Oreos, packs of Oreos, and try to work in the fact that it's O for Oldsmar, and then R-E-O for ransom.
That's good, Ken.
And I had a third grader a couple years ago ask, Mr. Ken, did Ransom Olds invent the Oreo? Good question. It was a good question. So I'll be doing that on the 17th, kind of as a, I don't know, I will mention volunteering and all that good stuff with our city. And with Thanksgiving coming up, it is a great honor, and I'm very thankful to serve with great people and live in a fine city such
Amen.
as Oldsmar. So have a good Thanksgiving, everybody, and we will see you next year, if not at some events. And with that, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. Adjourn.
And The Little Mermaid will be our next show coming up for theater next year. The auditions are at the end of this month. So if you've got theater people that want to get involved,